Hi, welcome to Nearpod. Let me give you a tour, show you around, a couple things that you're going to be able to do. So, on the left-hand side, when you log in, if you click on Nearpod Lesson Library, there's going to be different lessons of pre-made presentations that you can start using within Nearpod. So you can use this filter to select these checkboxes for the subject area, for the grade level. You can also choose what kind of presentation type you would want to use. Also, at the very top, you can choose a certain state, let's say California, and then choose your standards, and you'll be able to find them for that as well. And so you can also choose the free ones. And from here, you get to see all the different free ones that you can use to add. So let's say this adding and subtracting fractions. I'll click on it. And a couple things that you can do is you can preview it and you can just kind of flip through it and kind of see how it works. And it's kind of already prepared for you, which is pretty neat. So if you really like it, you just click Add to My Library. And then if we go up to the house in the top left, that's how you get back to your library. And here it's added. So there's two ways to kind of use a Nearpod. One way is a live lesson. So if we click Live Lesson, then your students would go to the website that you see here. They would just have to go to join.nearpod.com, and your students would put in that join code, which is really neat. You also can click a link here and put the link to this live event in your Schoology course. So you can just ask students, all right, in the Schoology course, go ahead and click today's Nearpod link to join into the live presentation. You may do that as well. So then you got a couple of different tools here as a teacher. You'll be able to flip it with the arrows here, the selector arrows, and you control the pace. So students are seeing this presentation on their own screens, but you're going to be able to control the pace. The other really neat thing is Nearpod has a lot of check for understanding interactive type of questions that you can add to it. And you're going to see the student submissions as they're coming in, which is really neat. As the student submissions come in, you'll be able to share out each of their submissions. It's all anonymous to the students, and you'll be able to have a discussion with your class and your students of what they think about what you're sharing out with them. At the very bottom left corner, that's where you're going to be able to see what students have logged in. Also, you can choose your selector of slides if you want to jump to a certain slide at any moment. And if you were showing your teacher screen, then you can choose to hide or show the student names so they can see that as well. If it's this impromptu opportunity, you may use the plus add activity button, and at any moment you could add a draw type activity. You may add a true false real quick to check for understanding, maybe an open-ended question, share out a website to the students. So at any moment you may also be able to do that, and those are kind of impromptu in that moment to kind of get the gauge of the students as you're teaching them the content. One other area, you have this new student view, which we have a little message here about it. It's this S right here. So you can see what it looks like on the student side for that activity. So you were just seeing that activity from the teacher side, but you may load up the student side. So this is what the students would be seeing. They have the picture right here that they can click on. They have the topic here at the top, the question, and this will be the area that they can answer it. Students will have a submit button to submit it to you. If we switch back to the teacher view, then you're going to see that you, again, would be able to see all the submissions coming in and what percent of your class has submitted. Be very careful not to click share until all students have had a chance to submit their answers. If you click share, it kind of pauses and stops them in that activity. And then when you're all done, you just click the very top and you can end the session. And we'll say, yes, I do want to end it. The neat thing is you can always go back to that Nearpod, click the three dots, and click Reports. And reports are going to show you how your students did in that session. And you'll be able to see what students have been able to do, which is pretty neat as well. So we'll come back to my library. Another way that you can share out a Nearpod is called a student pace view. The student pace view we're going to take a look at in the next part of this course module of adding a student paste into Schoology. So we'll show you that in a moment in the upcoming video. You can also edit the Nearpod, even the ones that you got from the Nearpod lesson library. If you click edit, then you're able to take out certain slides you maybe didn't want. You can click on them and delete them. You can drag them in different orders on this timeline board. You can't always edit the text in a pre-made Nearpod, but you can edit any of the activities. And you can tell it's an activity because of these circle icons on top of the slide. So you may edit any of those. So for that, you just double click and you're going to be able to edit them. So you can change the question, you can change out the picture, delete that, add your own picture. Questions can even add a timer if you like for the students when they need to complete that. And then you would just save it. So you may also do that. You can add slides as well. You can complement it. So a couple ways that Nearpod allows you to add is content, add a web, add activities. So add content, you'll be able to add some 3D shapes, some science simulations or PhET simulations, some field trip or Nearpod VR, that means 360 interactive photos that students can drag around. Can add videos from the BBC, even put in a PowerPoint or a Google slideshow, add a video like a YouTube video right within it. You can record audio, even put in a PDF for students to review or read an article. You can also do add web content, so you can put in a website of your choice. And then students, when they get to that slide, they'll be in the interactive real website that you show them. The other item that you can add is activities. So a couple of the activities are a game called Time to Climb, a little competitive game-based questioning, open-ended questions, matching pairs, quizzes. You can even add a flip grid where they record a video right within Nearpod here. The draw activity, that's a really neat one, especially to show your work. Collaborate board if you want to get different brainstorming, getting different posts, different thoughts. Students can also see what everyone's posting and like them. Again, everything in Nearpod's anonymous to the students who is saying or submitting what. You can do a quick poll. The fill in the blanks is not my favorite one. It doesn't give you a lot of data as a teacher on that one, but it's another interactive activity. And then memory tests, they have to match. So they can match a word and a definition or a picture and a word, and you can have that memory test activity as well. So quite a bit of things that you can add into a Nearpod. And then as you edit these, you can just preview them if you would like, or save them when you're all done. Couple other areas that you have is you can create your own. So built right in here, you can click just lesson in Nearpod and just start from scratch from the screen that we just saw for editing. And you can start adding those same different contents here. There's even a slide builder when you add the content. You can even create the slides within here as well. Or you may upload. So when you click upload, you got a couple choices. You can use this button right here if it's a PowerPoint that you have saved on your own device. You can bring a PowerPoint in. If it's a Google slide, you can bring that in. So you just click the Google Drive button here, and you can bring it right within from your Google Slides. Also, if you have using that OneDrive, that Microsoft Cloud Storage, and you have PowerPoint slide deck stored there, you can bring that in with these clouds. And that's the Microsoft OneDrive. And then that lets you log in and select your PowerPoint slide if it's stored in the OneDrive. And you can bring those in. And the really neat thing is once you bring them in, you can start adding to them, complement them with a live website activity, complement them with these interactive activities to engage the students. And you can put that within the different timeline of your presentation. And Nearpod is a great way for that check for understanding along the way with your presentation. The other thing I want to show you is this new lesson in Google Slides. So this is pretty neat. If you click on that, then that's going to open up Google Slides, and it's going to allow you to just add an extension to Google Slides for Nearpod. And it walks you through the first time. So it shows you the 3 steps. You're going to click add-ons at the very top here. You're going to choose Nearpod and open Nearpod add-on. And then you get to add these features to your Google slide. So if I click add-ons, here it is, Nearpod, open Nearpod, and then it's going to open up here on the right-hand side, which is pretty neat. You can add all these different elements as you create your Google slide deck, and you're going to be able to put those elements in, which is pretty neat. So here, the Flipgrid one, I was just looking at to add. Once you just go to flipgrid.com if you know how to use it, and just get your Flipgrid topic board to put in here to share that out. And then let's say I do a field trip. Let's try add that one. And I can select, let's say, Paris, and I can select the picture from their catalog for their 360 photos. Here we go, and say done. And it puts it right within this Google slide, which is pretty cool. So you can use all the tools that you automatically know, but you can also add features to a Google slide with Nearpod. And then you would just save this and go back to Nearpod. And then it puts it in your Nearpod library for you to use, which is pretty neat. So you can use all the same techniques that you already do with Google Slides. A couple more things just to show you around. You do have some teacher resources here on the left-hand side that you can click on. And these are additional tutorials and trainings and live and on-demand webinars that you can take on your own to learn more about Nearpod. In the top right-hand corner, if you just come to Nearpod itself and you click this quick launch, you don't have to actually really, find all this Nearpod Get One prepared. If you click the quick launch, you can just do this right away. Let's have a timer in the classroom. Let's do a collaborate board. Let's just do a draw activity. So you can do those just the spur of the moment right here with Nearpod clicking on the rocket, which is pretty nice. The other thing that you have is if you click your profile picture and you click lesson settings, and on here where it says advanced, there's a couple things that you can turn on. So I do recommend turning on the immersive reader. That's really nice for students to have. They can click on words, they'll have a picture dictionary, can even say the word and read it for them. Enabling student notes is part of a premium feature. Show quiz results in the student paste. If you want to turn that on, that's also a really good setting to have. Allow students to resubmit answers. It depends. That means they could go back and change their answer to resubmit. Enable collaborate for student pace. So if you're putting those student pace versions and you want students to be able to post on a collaborate board, you can turn that on. And then require student submissions. So this is a really new one, a great one, especially for distance learning, putting these self-paced Nearpods in Schoology. So they can't just skip through a slide deck. They actually have to be completing the activities along the way, the timeline of your presentation. So you can turn that on as well. And we'll click the house. And 2 more things is you have a plus sign that's also to create a brand new Nearpod. And on the left-hand side, you have reports to always get back to any Nearpod that you had done in the past, see what students have submitted, see how they're doing. And reports is going to be a really crucial area to go to as well once you're starting to do those self-paced Nearpods in Schoology, which we're going to learn in the next module here in this course. Thank you.